It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You have endured hidden tests in your life, tests of faith, persistence, and courage. At times, you probably wondered if the challenges would ever end. Now you're finding that every step brought you closer to a breakthrough you didn't even know was possible. You, dear chosen one, have scored over 100% on heaven's exam, a divinely orchestrated series of trials meant to reveal your true capability. This isn't just a feel-good phrase. It's a deep confirmation that your spirit has been recognized and elevated. You might feel a growing sense of excitement or even a bit of disbelief, but trust that this moment is real. Forces larger than you can imagine are opening doors that were once sealed. A new chapter is emerging, urging you to stand in the fullness of your gifts. If you sense even a flicker of truth in these words, you're already on the right path. Now more than ever, you're invited to step forward, embrace your higher purpose, and receive the huge reward waiting for you. If this resonates, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to confirm you're ready for the next step in your transformation. Chapter 1. A Soul-Deep Recognition. There comes a moment when a chosen one realizes something profound, that life's biggest trials weren't random accidents, but purposeful markers guiding you toward your destiny. Imagine waking up one morning, reflecting on everything you've gone through. Long nights of uncertainty, heartbreak you thought you'd never mend, responsibilities that felt like they'd swallow you whole. In that same breath, you realize you're still here, stronger and more aware than you were before. This realization isn't just a passing thought. It's a soul-deep recognition that your life has been orchestrated with care, even when it seemed chaotic on the surface. Often you may have questioned your own worth. Maybe you compared yourself to others who seemed more accomplished or more certain of their path. Yet despite those doubts, you kept going. And now out of nowhere, you have this quiet but insistent voice telling you your persistence mattered. It's the voice that emerges only when you've faced enough adversity to peel away layers of pretense and see your true essence shining through. That essence is your anchor in a world that might otherwise knock you off course. Scoring over 100% on heaven's exam suggests you did more than just pass a test. You excelled in every hidden lesson you were meant to learn. At times, it probably felt like you were being pushed to the brink, wondering if there was any benevolent plan behind it all. But with each challenge, you gained fresh insight. Maybe you discovered patience where you once had impatience, or empathy for others' struggles because you had walked a similar road. These transformations were never purely for your own growth. They were also a silent beacon for others. People around you, friends, family, even strangers, may have found renewed hope just from watching you persevere. That's the power of a chosen one. Now you stand at a threshold unlike any you've crossed before. There's a new openness in your heart, a willingness to accept blessings you once believed belonged only to others. As you align with this next phase, a flood of long-awaited answers begins to trickle in. You might start noticing small synchronicities, an unexpected phone call, an email offering an opportunity, or perhaps a supportive conversation that arrives exactly when you need it. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations, gentle echoes reminding you that everything you've endured has prepared you for this precise moment. Your soul recognizes the call, and in turn, heaven acknowledges your readiness for the extraordinary reward that follows. Chapter 2. When Spirit Makes the Impossible Possible. Have you ever glanced at your life and felt like certain desires or goals were beyond your reach? Perhaps you had a dream so big it scared you, or a need so urgent it seemed impossible to fulfill. This is the corner where many lose hope, but for a chosen one, that corner often marks the space where Spirit steps in and makes what you deemed impossible surprisingly achievable. The journey feels surreal, like witnessing a literal shift in your reality. One day your options seem limited, and the next a path you never considered opens wide. That's the essence of scoring over 100% on heaven's exam. It's an indicator that your timeline has changed, that you've ascended past obstacles that once seemed permanent. Shift might begin with a stroke of insight, like a sudden solution to a problem that's been lingering for years, or an inner prompting that suggests it's time to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in ages. You might initially doubt this nudge, brushing it off as a random thought, but as the day unfolds, you notice how aligning with that tiny prompt leads to events unfolding in your favor. It can feel eerie at first, but also liberating. This phase often involves unlearning what you thought you knew about limitations. Maybe you were taught that financial stability could only come from a strict 9-to-5 job, or that genuine love happens only under certain circumstances. But now you're drawn to experiences and possibilities outside those lines. You might feel a tug to start a creative project that was simmering in your heart, or to invest energy in an unconventional path that resonates with your spirit. The common thread is that you're stepping away from confines you once took for granted. This is not blind risk-taking. It's a purposeful movement in sync with the guidance that's becoming clearer each day. During this stage, people around you may notice a difference in your energy. Some may think you're simply lucky, while others might be inspired by the newfound confidence you radiate. The truth is that you've unlocked a universal principle. When you move in harmony with a higher calling, resources and opportunities often present themselves. It's as though your faith in the unseen shapes the visible world around you. It's not about living in a fantasy. It's about recognizing that reality is more elastic than you once believed. Yes, it requires action. You can't just sit around hoping, but each step you take in alignment with your deeper guidance yields more results than you ever thought possible. As the impossible starts to feel more and more natural, you sense a deeper gratitude for how everything is aligning. Even your struggles begin to make sense. They were chiseling you, preparing you to handle blessings that you might have squandered in another time or mindset. Now you've matured spiritually, and as a result, you can steward these gifts responsibly. You keep moving, propelled by faith, and the journey continues to unfold in ways that reaffirm you really have stepped into a new realm of possibility. Chapter 3. Why Your Biggest Struggles Mattered. In hindsight, it's often the harshest tests that lead to the greatest awakenings. If you think about the times you felt overwhelmed by life's demands, losing a job, navigating a painful relationship, facing personal loss, those chapters seemed dark and endless. You might have asked, why indeed? What did I do to deserve this? At the time, no answer could have soothed the immediate sorrow or stress. Yet here you stand, a chosen one who not only survived but also grew in unexpected ways, scoring over 100% in a cosmic test designed to polish your soul. Your biggest struggles weren't meant to punish you. Rather, they were like corridors you had to walk through to discover hidden chambers within yourself. Perhaps a heartache taught you compassion you never felt before, or a financial setback revealed your untapped ingenuity. These aren't cheap platitudes, they're the tangible qualities you now bring to every situation you face. What felt like detours were, in fact, the most direct routes to discovering your depth and resilience. Even the people who hurt you or doubted you played their roles. Without them, you wouldn't have known how deeply you could forgive or how firmly you could stand your ground when necessary. The entire process has been shaping you for the reward that is on its way. Think of it like a precious metal refined by fire. The flames are uncomfortable, but they burn away impurities, leaving a stronger, more brilliant core. That brilliance is apparent now in the way you navigate each new day. No longer as naive as you were, but also no longer cynical, you've entered a balanced state of openness and wisdom. When you fully grasp that these trials had a higher purpose, you start releasing bitterness and regret. You see how every major test was another page in the grand exam you've recently aced. You begin to trust that the path you've walked has been preparing you for the path you're about to walk. That doesn't mean you won't face new challenges. Life has a way of continuously nudging us beyond our comfort zones. But your perspective on adversity has transformed. Instead of being caught off guard, you're more likely to say, okay, what lesson or blessing does this hold? You face obstacles with a calm sense of knowing that you can handle them. It might surprise you how quickly everything starts to shift once you accept the inherent value in your past hardships. Doors that were shut for ages seem to creak open. Proposals that once fell on deaf ears get an enthusiastic response. You might find the courage to speak your truth in situations where you used to stay silent. Each of these changes confirms that your struggles were never meaningless. They were building you into the kind of person who can receive and hold a blessing that, transcends anything you've experienced before. Each new day you live in this awareness becomes a testament that nothing was wasted and everything was ultimately a step toward your monumental reward. Chapter 4. Seeing the signs that confirm your score. So you've been told you scored over 100% on heaven's exam, but how can you be sure this isn't just wishful thinking? Perhaps you crave concrete evidence, some unmistakable sign that what's happening to you is genuine. The truth is, these signs are often subtle, yet they ring with clarity when you learn to pay attention. It could be in the way you miraculously avoid a major setback, like an error that gets corrected at the last minute, or the way someone you barely know offers precisely the resource or connection you need. These scenarios may seem coincidental, but in your heart, you sense there's a guiding hand at work. Another indicator lies in your emotional shifts. Have you noticed yourself recovering faster from disappointments or feeling unexpectedly hopeful during challenging times? That resilience isn't random. It's a direct result of the spiritual strengthening you've undergone. Where once you might have spiraled into doubt and self-criticism, now you find a calmer center, a place that trusts there's a reason behind each event. This emotional landscape is evidence of the new reality you're inhabiting. You're operating at a higher frequency, one that aligns with solutions instead of fixating on problems. Relationships can also reveal how dramatically you've grown. People who once strained your energy now feel distant, not because you bear them ill will, but because your spirit is gravitating toward healthier connections. Conversely, you may attract new friends or even potential partners who match your evolving mindset. The interactions flow more naturally, and mutual respect underpins your exchanges. This doesn't mean life is suddenly free of conflict, but it does mean you handle conflicts with a poise that surprises you. And in return, you notice more harmony finding its way into your sphere. There's also the practical side. Finances, work, opportunities, or creative projects might start thriving with less friction. You could see an uptick in your income or unexpectedly land a dream job. While these changes are exciting, they're not the complete picture. There are side effects of your inner transformation, physical markers that something profound is unfolding beneath the surface. It's like a scoreboard lighting up, confirming, yes, you really are moving to the next level. When these confirmations start stacking up, you might worry if you can trust them. Are you just seeing patterns where there are none? Healthy skepticism is normal. The difference is that these signs come with a strong internal resonance, like a bell that rings true in your chest. Each confirmation strengthens your faith that you are indeed in a sacred alignment with your true calling. Whether these signals appear as small coincidences or grand breakthroughs, their cumulative effect is to reassure you that you didn't just pass a trial, you exceeded all expectations. Your life's trajectory is shifting because you, dear chosen one, have proven yourself ready to hold and share an extraordinary blessing. Chapter 5. Embracing the huge reward on the horizon. You may be wondering what form this huge reward will take. Is it material? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? The truth is, it can be all of the above. As you stand on the threshold of this blessing, you might sense a mixture of excitement and nervousness. After all, receiving something beyond what you ever thought possible can stir up all sorts of emotions, even a hint of self-doubt. But remember, heaven's exam wasn't just a measure of endurance. It was also a gauge of readiness. And if you've reached this point, you're ready to receive. In practical terms, rewards might show up as sudden windfalls or promotions you never saw coming. Maybe it's the dream house that just entered your price range or an unexpected inheritance. But often there's a deeper layer, a spiritual or emotional wealth that dwarfs any material gains. You might wake up one morning with a renewed sense of purpose or find yourself in awe of how peaceful your mind has become amid chaos. And this sense of peace, of inner richness, is something no market downturn or external drama can take from you. It's yours to keep and cultivate. Yet receiving can be just as challenging as giving. You might feel an impulse to question whether you deserve this good fortune or worry about losing it. Understand that these hesitations are leftover echoes from an old belief system. Step by step, you must allow yourself to break free of the notion that blessings are limited or that you must do more to prove your worthiness. The fact that you've already aced your spiritual exam is proof you're more than deserving. Accepting your reward fully is, an act of faith in the divine order that recognizes you in the first place. During this phase, it's crucial to stay grounded. Yes, it's wonderful to celebrate your achievements and relish the new opportunities, but your feet should remain firmly on the earth, ensuring you handle these rewards with integrity and wisdom. If you receive financial abundance, think about how to use it in ways that honor your soul's purpose. If you find emotional or spiritual breakthroughs, consider who you can uplift through your newfound insight. This sense of stewardship transforms your blessing from a personal gift into a shared beacon of hope. The reward on the horizon is immense, yet the journey continues. You're still evolving, still growing into the person you were meant to be. With each blessing that arrives, another door opens to deeper levels of understanding and service. Rather than reaching a final destination, you're stepping onto a bigger stage where your potential can shine brighter and your impact can stretch further than ever before. Embrace the thrill of it, chosen one. Your life's greatest chapters are only now unfolding, sparked by the recognition of your extraordinary achievement and sealed by the promise of an abundant tomorrow. Chapter 6. Keeping your spirit open to new guidance. Even as you stand in this remarkable moment, basking in the knowledge that you scored over 100% on heaven's exam, your spiritual journey is far from over. In fact, this milestone sets the stage for the next sequence of growth. Being a chosen one doesn't end with a single breakthrough. It's a lifelong dance with divine inspiration. You've proven your capability, and now the universe invites you to stay receptive to further guidance. This can feel both exhilarating and daunting. You might wonder, what if I miss the next sign or misinterpret the path? Rest assured, if you remain attentive to your inner wisdom, you'll be guided at every turn. The key is to maintain a spirit of curiosity rather than certainty. While you may have gained wisdom from past struggles, it's essential not to assume you have all the answers. Life is constantly in motion, and so are you. The deeper you go, the more you'll discover hidden layers of yourself. These layers can reveal fresh talents, new callings, or unexplored avenues of service. Sometimes the guidance you receive may conflict with the plans you had in mind, nudging you to consider alternatives that appear risky but are actually in sync with your evolving purpose. Staying open also means creating space for reflection. You might incorporate periods of quiet into your daily routine, brief walks, moments of prayer, or simply sitting with your thoughts. In this stillness, subtle insights have room to rise to the surface. These flashes of intuition might instruct you to make a phone call, move to a different city, or pursue a course of study you never considered. Each insight is a piece of the larger puzzle, encouraging you to expand further into the person you're becoming. Honor these nudges, even if they challenge your comfort zone. This chapter of openness also brings an opportunity to re-examine your relationships. You may feel drawn to connect with others on a deeper level, sharing your experiences in a way that fosters mutual growth. People who once occupied your life in a superficial capacity might surprise you with how willing they are to explore deeper conversations. Similarly, you could meet new individuals who share your passion for spiritual discovery. These connections can offer support, companionship, and fresh perspectives that enrich your path. Yet not everyone will understand your transformation, and that's okay. Part of staying open is learning to discern which relationships nurture your spirit and which ones hamper it. You don't need to judge or condemn anyone. You simply need to recognize where you feel energized and valued. This discernment protects the sacred progress you've made and ensures that your future choices align with your highest good. The more you practice, the more clearly you'll hear the gentle call of the next phase unfolding, guiding you forward, step by step, into greater realms of possibility and purpose. Chapter 7. Continuing the journey into unseen vistas. You've arrived at an extraordinary juncture, scoring over 100% on heaven's exam and stepping into a life brimming with potential. Yet this is just one moment in a flowing current of transformation. Each day you wake up, you stand at the brink of unseen vistas. It's like standing at the edge of a vast landscape in the early morning light, sensing the enormity of what lies ahead, but unable to see its full shape. Excitement and a healthy dose of anticipation might mingle in your heart, reminding you that your story is far from finished. In these next steps, your role is to remain attuned to the guidance that has carried you this far. You'll encounter fresh challenges, of course. Life has a way of consistently polishing the chosen ones, so they shine brighter over time. There might be moments when old fears resurface, testing your resolve, but you've walked through the fire enough times to know those fears are like fleeting shadows, quickly dispelled when you stand firmly in your truth. Each step you take confirms you're no longer who you used to be. You've evolved into a more resilient, capable soul, ready to engage with the ever-expanding possibilities before you. As you move forward, think of your reward not as a finite prize, but as an ongoing unfolding of blessings. Maybe today you relish in renewed relationships and financial security, and tomorrow you find new creative outlets you never dreamed possible. Each discovery sparks another, linking together into a chain of blessings that lights your path. Every so often, pause to reflect on how much has changed since you started this journey. Recognize the subtle yet profound upgrades in your mindset, your outlook, and the connections you're making. This acknowledgement deepens your gratitude and solidifies your foundation for what's to come. And yes, there will be future tests. Heaven's exam isn't a one-time event. It's a baseline for the kind of evolution that lies ahead. But now when you face these tests, you do so with a deeper wisdom and an unwavering sense of your inherent worthiness. You've proven that you can handle trials without losing yourself, and that assurance is its own kind of liberation. In moments of doubt, remember how far you've come and how consistently life has shown up in your favor when you stayed true to your calling. The journey continues, dear chosen one, into realms that can't fully be described by words alone. It's an open vista filled with promise and guided by a force that saw your potential before anyone else did, even before you did. So move onward with a heart open to each new revelation, each new opportunity, and each new horizon. The reward you've been promised is not merely an endpoint. It's the ongoing celebration of a soul that has finally remembered how magnificent it truly is.